Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 59 of Pocket Edition. I'm your host, Sully, and I'm joined by your usual host in Mark. How are you today, Mark?
Is the host in me? Or
I don't know. Look, we're at a point now where I need to write out an intro. We've reached 60 episodes deep, and I still haven't quite ironed out the kinks, so I think it's a sign that I've just fallen into bad habits and don't know how to rectify them. It's just like, this is a shout for help, Mark. Yeah. I'm calling out for help.
Yeah, I think I'll just accept it as keeping it fresh.
Keeping it fresh. It's one way to look at it.
Yeah, I'll just ignore the cry for help.
Yeah.
Not until it gets really bad.
That's the best thing to do, yeah, at the moment. But anywho, Mark.
Yeah.
Today, this is a important episode to me. It means a lot. We've got big news, or at least not so much for you, more so for me. But big news for the Xbox community in general and the PC community. But before we jump into that, tell me what you've been playing, Mark. What have you been up to?
I've been playing a lot of PS4 games lately, and getting some footage for reviews. Unfortunately, it's become a lot trickier because I mentioned it on the Discord that my PS4 is starting to show its age, which means that partway through play, it'll just spit out the disc. Just say like, nah, I've had enough.
Always what you want. Yeah. Fuck this. Throws a tantrum.
Yeah. Like, nah, that's it. You're done. I'm like, great. And it won't accept the disc. You have to restart the PS4.
Oh, like it when you try to put it in, it's like doo-doo-doo-doo,
yeah,
doo-doo-doo, like it thinks it's full.
Yeah, it's like, nah, not having any of that.
Oh, right. So it's like
spits
some
it
kind
out
of
and then won't take it back. Then you need to restart it and pop it.
Some
back
kind
in.
of disarray between the actual hardware and the software or something.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
So it's
no, that's not good.
It's done that a few times, and I'm just like, I play very like sort of like on my tiptoes, like ready. I'm like saving constantly and making sure I'm at checkpoints. So like just like taking like little side glances at the PS4, making sure everything's good.
Have you tried tipping it on its side or something like that? Like standing it up vertically?
I don't have the room or cable stretched for it.
Oh, wow. Damn.
So everything is lying down. But so far, in the last week, it hasn't done it, but it did 3 in 1 week.
Is it damaging the discs?
No.
Oh, that's good. That's fine. Annoying, but fine.
Yeah, so very, very cautiously recording footage for the latest Devil May Cry game.
Very good.
Very pretty and plays really, really well.
I've heard a lot of good things about that game. A lot. I was actually surprised by some of the positive critiques of that game, considering all the progression, pay for gems and all this shit as you go type thing.
Yeah.
But seemingly it's come through unscathed, which is good to hear.
Which is surprising because I was pretty negative on the game before. Like I love the franchise, but I was a bit negative on it thanks to everything leading up to it. But then I played it and I was like, oh, it is good. Yay.
Yeah, good. Exactly how it should be, right? So, yeah, that's good. No, I look forward to that. So we'll find that on your channel, Mark, or both channels?
Both channels.
Amazing.
What have you been up to?
Well, believe it or not, I know we've been absent on and off for a little while. We were talking about this before we started recording. It's kind of funny because we have actually been recording. I've been quite present on the newscast, and we just released G Fighters last night, actually, at the time of this recording. So G Fighters is back. Expect that to be a mostly weekly event now. Pocket Edition is back. I say it's back, and this is what I mean by we actually have been recording. I've got a Pocket Edition, a Pokemon-related retrospective edition of the Pokemon series with Count and Joe Chip that's still sitting in the piggy bank that I've still got to put the finishing touches on and actually get up. So, but my last couple of weeks have been hectic in terms of just social life and work. But we have been recording, I promise. So expect all of that to fall into back in place over this week and next week. But I guess on more of a hobby level, what I've been playing, I haven't been playing too much at the moment, actually. I have, however, been dabbling in a lot of PC building. So that's been gobbling up most of my time. I don't know if you saw it, Mark, but I put a picture up in our Discord yesterday of my kind of work table of assorted PC parts. I actually recently bought for $90 a HP kind of like workstation thing, and you might be about to cringe up, but for $90 that thing came with 8 GB of RAM, a terabyte hard drive, and an i7 tucked away in it, an Intel i7. So it's nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah.
Not bad. It's a second gen Intel i7, but an i7's a fucking i7. You know, it's going to hold up once you turbo clock that up. So I've kind of did a little bit of shopping yesterday to get some stuff to start like modding it, because it's all proprietary, so you can't take it out of the case and put it in a game case. So I've seen a couple of mods that people are doing these ThinkStations, like cut a hole in the side, make a side window, put a piece of Perspex over it, which I've already bought the Perspex. I've already got the LEDs. I've got spray paint. So maybe I'll keep you guys updated on the channel, but that thing is going to go from a boring black box to hopefully something that pops with some nice fluorescent orange colors inside and out with LEDs. So, and I've also got a 1050 I'm dropping in. So that's been my last couple of days organizing that. And yeah, I've been getting into that a bit lately, the kind of dabbling in PC building and modding. So that's been fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
And are you going to get a replacement table?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how we go. I probably shouldn't even be building anything on that table, because it's my mum's that she's trusted me to look after, and I've just kind of got shit all over it. So might be for the best if I get a new table. But anyway, that's enough rambling from me, Mark. Let's actually get into the episode and talk about the topic at hand, which is the Halo Master Chief Collection and its arrival, or soon to be arriving, at the PC. So a couple of days ago on Inside Xbox, they announced that the entirety of the Master Chief Collection, plus Halo Reach, which is still absent from the console version as well, would be making its way to the PC system. And specifically, the interesting part about that is also Steam. To the best of my knowledge, Mark, you might be able to clarify, I haven't seen any release dates for this as of yet. I don't think we have a release dates for the collection or Halo Reach. But the way it's going to work for PC is that they're going to release them in chronological order, one at a time. So expect these releases to be probably fairly... Oh, just hit my mic, hang on. So expect these releases to probably be fairly staggered out, because I believe it's like a live development type thing. They're going to work on Reach, which is chronologically the first game. They'll release that. Then they'll probably start putting all of their weight into getting the next PC up to PC standard, basically. And they did clarify what they meant by, I guess, honoring or giving PC players what they want with the PC standard, meaning high resolutions, field of view sliders, graphical sliders, ultra wide support, which is very happy. It makes me very happy, because I have an ultra wide. So being able to play the Halo series on an ultra wide is music to my ears. But long story short, they assured the PC community that they were giving them what they deserve, basically, or what they should get from a PC title. So they're not just kind of porting it over with shitty keyboard and mouse controls and bugger all graphical options. It sounds like they're actually putting the hard yards into getting these titles ready. So unfortunately, that's pretty much all the information we've got. They've just announced that the Master Chief Collection is making its way to PC and Steam. It will be available via Game Pass, obviously, in the Windows Store. Obviously, and the first game that we'll receive on PC will be Halo Reach, and that will be at a standalone price. So they haven't really talked much about pricing. I'm not sure whether you kind of buy the Master Chief Collection and then perhaps Halo Reach is free within the collection, and then each other game that comes in is free, or if you'll pay in parts. They haven't really said much.
Yeah. I imagine you'd be given a choice.
Yeah, whether you can buy it standalone or if you can buy just the collection and pay upfront for everything. I could see it getting quite messy if they do that, though. Like you buy Halo Reach, and then you buy Halo 1, then you buy Halo 2. Because it's all eventually going to tie together within the one multiplayer suite, right? Like the Master Chief Collection does. So it makes sense to me to just buy the Master Chief Collection and then kind of get the games annually released into the collection. So it's unfortunate that there hasn't been much clarity on that. But we'll just have to wait and see. And obviously, if you have Game Pass, it's falls under your normal subscription. So, Mark, this is music to my ears, but do you have any thoughts or feelings towards another flagship experience of the Xbox, kind of lifting that exclusivity veil slightly to be available on PC? And what do you think of it being available through Steam as well? Because that's the one that one to me is quite surprising.
Yeah. But like, to start off, I think that it is awesome that we are getting the Master Chief Collection on PC, especially since a large portion of the franchise was absent from PC after they did like 1 and 2 on it, like years ago. And things
that was
like
very
that.
frustrating as well, because to just have it cease there before you can finish the fight as a PC player was frustrating.
So it's sort of like it's helping righting that wrong, even though it's quite a while ago. And it is good to finally see it happening and finally having it as the full collection sort of thing, instead of just, oh, we're going to put 3 now or we're going to put 4 now, and things like that.
Rather than, I get you.
Yeah, you just put it as the whole shebang sort of thing.
Because it gives you, it kind of instills that a confidence that you are going to get all of it, rather than here's number 3, but there's no news of number 4.
Yeah.
Or Reach. Yeah, completely understand.
Yeah, but on the other side of the thing, it's that I've got one less reason to keep my Xbox One around. Like I mentioned this yesterday, that I just don't really, like, every single time they announce these ports or these new releases and things like that, my Xbox One gets used less and less, because I bought the Xbox One for Sunset Overdrive, Master Chief Collection, and Scalebound. Scalebound was cancelled.
Oh dear.
And its assets are apparently being moved to a Switch game, so that's cool. But Master Chief Collection's going multiplayer. Sunset's already on Steam. And like Gears is available through Game Pass and things like that, or you can get the original trilogy on 360 and all sorts.
To broaden this out into more of a discussion about, I guess, exclusivity now almost being shared with PC, is that an issue for you personally as an Xbox owner, or do you see that as an issue for Microsoft? And if it's an issue for you or the other, like, why?
Yeah, let's see. I don't think it's necessarily an issue for the user. I think it's more of a, like, I regret my purchase just slightly sort of thing. It's not really like, it's like, I feel cheated and things like that. I'm like,
yeah, I understand that mentality. Like, I had an Xbox. My Xbox is now long gone because as soon as I caught wind that they were coming to PC, I moved it on. The only reason I was holding on to my Xbox was for Gears of War 4. I got that on PC, so I got rid of my Xbox. Because I mostly only own an Xbox for the exclusive experiences. And I have to admit, like, since I've gotten rid of my Xbox, I've been wanting to play Halo a lot. But and obviously this announcement is music to my ears, so I can completely understand that mentality of you don't feel butthurt, but it's kind of like, well, if my preferred platform is PC and all of the options are going to PC, then there's no point in having an Xbox anymore. So I guess we're kind of stuck in that middle point where it was like that transitional phase. Whereas going forward now, people that don't have an Xbox are going to be able to decide what hardware they want to invest in to play their games, which I think is a really positive consumer choice. So from a consumer perspective and from a Microsoft perspective, I think it's nothing but a positive if you don't already own an Xbox. If you do own an Xbox, it starts to get a little bit kind of, ooh.
Yeah, it's that if.
Yeah.
Which is annoying. But it's also a thing of... a lot like I've always imagined consoles as the biggest marketing point is exclusivity. Because if you look at just the Xbox One and the PS4 and look at their multi-platform, then it's just which controller you prefer, really. Because sometimes you're not going to notice small differences in frame rate or small differences in resolution unless you've got a screen to support that. But usually it's a thing of, okay, well, I want a PS4 because I want to play God of War and Bloodborne, sort of thing like that. Or it's like, I wanted an Xbox because I want to play Halo. And things like that. And recently, Microsoft's been pushing their sort of Microsoft family of consoles, which includes the PC.
Yeah, and probably soon to be a lot more with their app. And
yeah,
the Switch.
and probably soon to be a lot more, because if we get the Switch involved and things like that, then you'll have the Microsoft branding, but a console might not necessarily be needed anymore in that sort of identity. So their sort of entity as a brand will exist over everything, but their console will be less relevant.
Yeah, and I mean, I personally won't dabble in this too much because Plug Time, Joe Chip, and some others, we recorded a Chip Chat episode where we spent an hour talking about this. So if you want to hear my full thoughts and ramblings regarding the next 5 years in the console spaces and PC space, go check out that episode. But just to kind of sum up my viewpoint, it's basically that Microsoft don't care about hardware anymore. They want if they can sell hardware, great. But they don't want to force it on people. They want to create, like you said, Mark, a family or a network of consoles to cast the biggest net over a population that they can. So once that net is cast, they then funnel you down to the base of the net where you subscribe to Game Pass, which will be basically backed up by cloud support soon as well, which is going to enable you to play on mobile, probably the Switch, the streaming Xbox that's rumored to come. They don't care about the hardware. They just want to get everybody on board with their subscription service. That'll be it.
Yeah. So, like, I imagine their new console, with all of those new developers and things like that they acquired last year, it'll have exclusives, but it'll mean something different. Yeah.
It'll be like exclusive to their service, like the Game Pass service or their family of devices. Like exclusivity, I don't think it matters a whole deal to them, which, again, this dovetails into them releasing on Steam. I mean, that's still a little bit of a spanner in the works in my mind, which seems strange. But, again, hardware is somewhat important to them. They want to release the right options for people that don't want to play on mobile devices, don't have a Switch, and don't have a good PC. So in that sense, hardware and console options is important to them. So that's why they're probably going to be releasing, the budget-orientated version, the streaming version, and, the Xbox Pro version, whatever it is next after the X. So in that sense, it's important to them. But, it's just a means to an end, right? And that is not even selling software anymore or individual pieces of software. It's about selling one thing, and that is the subscription service, and increasing the value proposition of that subscription service. And the value of that subscription service doesn't go down if Halo, for example, or Gears of War is released on PC. It doesn't go down. It stays exactly the same, or it even increases. The more platforms that this service is available on is good, But Mark, let's talk about Steam, because Steam, to me, with the Halo Master Chief Collection, it doesn't quite fit into the equation for me, because
that was completely left field.
Yeah, not only is it left of field, but they don't have a way of monetizing it, I think, in a way that they would have with their existing structure of devices and services, because the only way they're going to be able to monetize it is on a sale-by-sale basis, which is a very old-school mentality with the rise of subscription services. So, Mark, let me spitball just an idea to you. Is this kind of them almost chucking the PC community a bone to try and entice them in? Or off of Steam, or away from Steam? Or, what is this? Or are they just purely happy to sell the Master Chief Collection on a sale-by-sale basis?
Well, it's you mentioned as well that it would be available on the Microsoft Store as well. And it would have to be. I think it might be just... I think it might be a thing of they know that Steam has a larger reach. I know that Steam's, we've just covered it, that it's a bit of an odd choice and things like that. But it's that, the fact of the matter is that more people are on Steam. And even if it is sale by sale and all that jazz that comes with Steam, it's probably a thing of, look, we want people to play it, and we want people to know that it's there, because it's a big choice for them to do it. And if it's the sort of leader of their big, we're going to put all of our franchises on the whole family of consoles, whether or not that family will include everything else later on thing, it's their big move.
Yeah.
And Steam's probably it's almost it's not necessarily separate from PC, but it's its own sort of entity. It's the launcher. It's the shop front.
It's the PC launcher.
The PC thing.
Yeah, it's like the face of PC gaming essentially at the moment.
Yeah, it's worked hard to become the face of PC. So if your game isn't on it, then there might be an issue.
Then you're on the Epic Games Store. Oh, snap.
Yeah, and we've covered that already. Like it's a threat in theory, but it needs the lineup. And Steam's had all these years.
It's
all
already
this time,
got it, and then some.
Yeah,
I think I agree with that critique. To me, it kind of feels like there is no way that it fits in with kind of their existing trend of wanting to monetize games in their hardware and systems and all that shit, their family devices. It kind of exists outside the wall, but it's them putting the poster boy out there to a huge PC community. One, to get a return on investment, because I imagine it can't be cheap re-engineering all of these games up from the ground to be available on PC. So one, they're going to get a really good return on investment. But I think it also puts maybe a little bit of good faith in with the PC community. And it draws awareness of a huge property of theirs that is exclusive, or was exclusive to like their ecosystem, right? But obviously it's not anymore. But it might get PC players thinking about, like Game Pass, all the other experiences that that Microsoft still have walled off within their ecosystem, like Gears of War, all the coming games from all these studios they've acquired. It might get them thinking about what is still left to play within the realm of Microsoft and Xbox, which I think like that surely has to be in Microsoft's mindshare. They're putting the poster boy out there to draw attention back to themselves type deal, while also receiving a return on investment via Steam. So, because I absolutely cannot see this being a trend. I think this is it can't be a trend because it doesn't fit within their existing model. They can't keep releasing games on Steam because they can't monetize it the way they want to monetize everything going forward.
Like I said, it's sort of like making a stand.
Yeah, and I think
look, notice us because this might be a one-off thing.
Absolutely.
Just so you know we're doing it.
Absolutely. So I think they want a return on investment. They want to draw a bit of attention to themselves, and I think this also will hopefully be the moment where the Master Chief Collection is seen in a fresher light. It works. It was if you don't remember when it launched, I think it was 2013. It was broken.
Yeah, it was a shocker.
And I won't go down the rabbit hole of this. I'm just going to say it was broken. It was a gross disappointment to the Halo community. 343 were like utterly ashamed of themselves as to how it panned out. And they're not entirely to blame. They weren't the only people working on it. But they were ashamed of the product and what they'd done to, I guess, the fan base. So, obviously, that's been rectified over the years. It's available on Xbox One X. They built the code up again from, I believe, the net code up from the ground floor again, which resolved the majority of the issues. So it has, in recent times, it's a working collection of games, which is fantastic. But it's still hard to escape the past, and the ship had kind of sailed for consoles. So hopefully, them releasing it to an astronomically large player base on the PC kind of gives the Master Chief Collection almost what it deserved from the get-go, right? Which is like a good reception, and just it to be like a celebration of Halo in general, being Microsoft's longest running franchise and property. So that could be part of it as well, I think. Just kind of trying to claw back some of the lost reputation, I guess, for the collection. But Mark, any final thoughts, man, before we wrap this one up?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it then. Like, if they're sort of making their stand and doing all this stuff, like, my final thought is, do you think that they, and if this Halo Infinite or the rumors of them doing a Halo Battle Royale or anything like that, do you think that might be the start of it? Because if you put it on PC, it would have a better audience?
For a Battle Royale, or?
Yeah. For a Battle Royale or the future of the franchise.
I don't think
it's too early to tell.
I think it's too early to tell. I think opening the Master Chief Collection up to a huge player base is definitely good for the online side of Halo. It's never really had issues, but now it's sure as shit not going to have issues, because you can bet your ass it's probably going to be cross-play between all the consoles and the PC players. So in that sense, which is something we haven't touched on, which is important, and obviously Infinite is going to be on PC as well, because it's a first party exclusive, so that title will be available. So yeah, in terms of multiplayer, the whole franchise coming to PC will radically strengthen multiplayer, and if there's any microtransaction money to be made, it's gonna pay off huge dividends for them, because you've increased your player base tenfold. But I mean, back to your original question in terms of it generating support or any new services like a battle royale, I don't know. It might be too early to tell. I mean, I did just recently watch a Xbox. I forgot what the one with IGN, the one with Ryan McCaffrey, the one where he does kind of that insider type interview segment. It was an hour long with Ronnie. I've got a name out. Ronnie Boss, something like that. And she's the director for 343, right? So she basically has all the insider information regarding the franchise going forward, and that was very interesting. But what I took away from that was she had nothing firm to say about battle royales, and I don't think my kind of general takeaway from it was that I don't think they're working on one at the moment. I think they're trying to think about what's important to Halo moving forward and what unique Halo experience they can deliver the players, not just regurgitating a new game mode. But at the same time, she didn't rule it out. Like, she was very coy, so it was hard to kind of get a gauge. But
it might be something they do at some point, but it's probably not something they're actively working on.
Yeah, I think what's just trying to say, it's not core to kind of their Halo experience at the moment going forward, right? And they're in a very interesting design space with Halo 6. They spent 2 years building an entirely new engine. The old engine was getting on, I think they said something stupid like 20 years old it was getting on to be. So they built a new engine from the ground up. And you can bet your ass like that engine's going to shine on the next generation or next iteration. I won't say generation, that's just not correct anymore. The next iteration of Xboxes. But my takeaway again is that I don't think like it's integral like a battle royale to their next Halo experience. I think they're cooking up something unique, and I don't think it's going to be a typical Halo-esque campaign or multiplayer experience. I think there's going to be some kind of strange online integration with everything like that between the two, maybe like a Destiny-esque type experience, but not. You know what I mean? Like some kind of shared world on the ring type experience. I don't know, but I think they're cooking up something different. But I don't know if the PC player base impacts that or breathes fresh air into it. I don't know, Mark. I would imagine that it wouldn't change too much because I don't think you'd build something around the need for a player base that you haven't even captured yet. Like that feels incredibly risky to me. Yeah, so I know that went way off the rails there, but we'll just wrap that up as my final thoughts. So, no, in all seriousness, my final thoughts is very excited to be receiving the Master Chief Collection. Cannot wait to play through them again. The multiplayer, co-op, everything on PC with all the bells and whistles. It's been a long time coming, Mark. And it almost feels like it's been so long coming, the excitement's almost died off. It's like the Half-Life 3 effect. By the time we finally receive it, you're like, oh, yep, all right, awesome. That's almost what it feels like. It's been that long coming. But be sure to let us know what you think down below in the comments. Let us know what you think of everything we kind of touched on regarding Microsoft's direction with subscription services, hardware. Go check out the Chip Chat episode. I would highly recommend doing that. Probably even before you comment on that, because we went hammer and tong, and I think we covered a lot of interesting ground and squared away a lot of question marks. So that was a really, really good chat. Probably one of the best chats I've ever been involved on since I've been YouTubing and podcasting. So absolutely check that out. And let us know what you just think of the Halo collection coming to PC. Are you going to get it? Let us know down below. If you enjoyed this episode, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in episode 60 next week. Have a good one.